It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Baltimore Ravens and the Green Bay Packers. And it's coming up next.
Let's go now, let's go.
Historic Lambeau Field. Fittingly, it butts up against Lombardi Avenue here in the heart of Green Bay, Wisconsin. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis, thrilled to be with you from the broadcast booth. And partner, before we get this thing started, what are you going to be watching?
Who gets off to a fast start? In horse racing terms, they talk about catching a flyer out of the gate. Who sets the pace and makes the other team chase?
Now the kicker, Brandon McManus, about ready to get us started. And off we go from Lambeau. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Here comes the Ravens on offense, and the man in charge from Louisville, the former MVP, Lamar Jackson.
And he remains the league's premier rushing threat and one of the biggest playmakers among quarterbacks. His goal each and every season, continue to expand his game as a passer and become well-rounded. All those highlight reel plays you see, they come off the fact that he can run it, throw it, and scares defenses every time he takes a snap.
Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so.
Now that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've got to hit the jackpot there.
And Andrews going to have a Ravens first down as he'll be brought down at the 42-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now it's Jackson. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
Now a second and 10. They'll bring a tight end in motion left. Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That's good for a first down, his second catch of the opening drive.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
From the gun, Jackson. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, that's the second time in this opening drive alone that he's dropped a pass. We know that that can't continue, but they got to determine what it's about. Is he just super amped for the game and maybe he'll settle in, or is his focus just not there?
Here's second and 10. Throwing is Jackson. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
They're giving him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big third down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Jackson. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 29-yard line. A third down gain of 19.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the first down marker, and this early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
A first down carry for Henry. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. Second down coming up.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Here's Jackson to throw. A short throw caught by Andrews. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Jackson to Andrews on that one. First down, Baltimore.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end. Let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
To throw is Jackson. That one into the hands of Flowers. And he is out of bounds. Looks like right at the 15. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that will bring up second down.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch. Especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
They'll send the big tight end in motion right. Jackson. Got his tight end. That's complete. That's Andrews. And the Ravens are going to have a first and goal as he's taken down at about the 8-yard line. Well, no question, this is exactly how they wanted to start this football game. And nice pass there. Now they're set up beautifully, Charles, to finish this off with a touchdown.
Yeah, but they've still got to finish it off, partner, and that means they've got to execute at this stage of the field. So we've seen many teams march it right to the goal line and not cash in. They got something dialed up here that puts...
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Xavier McKinney. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football as they force the turnover on the opening drive. Not something you see very often from a quarterback of his caliber, an opening drive interception.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind that even he's surprised at how that one played out. But we know this guy is not going to stop him from continuing to fire as this game goes along. Probably give a little nod of respect across the field for that one and let him know he'll be back the very next series.
6'4" Jordan Love taking the field for the first time. The 2020 first-round pick from Utah State set to lead Green Bay.
And at the start of Jordan Love's NFL career, he had one of the best seats in the stadium watching Aaron Rodgers work. But now he's looking for more than that. Rocket arm, big play potential, and he wants to show this organization that he's capable of being a dependable starter for the foreseeable future.
Love going to break the huddle, lead the Packers up here 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now Love. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Throwing, Love. He's got his target. That's complete. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 17 yards on the play there as the Packers have the first down as well. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
Yeah, we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got a turnover? We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Nice run defense presented there, and what I mean by that is discipline. Guys filling the right gaps in the right holes, no one over pursuing, and making a very nice play.
Working out of the gun, Love. Forced out to his left. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain.
That's the first time he's called his own number, but he's got to be overjoyed with the results. He wasn't just going to settle for a modest gain. To me, he was determined to come through with a big message to a defense that slept on him in the pocket.
Love. A short throw to Musgrave. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field all they're thinking is finish this drive off because they took it away, right? So now you've got them back on their heels a little bit. Now go down, put a touchdown on them. Look out. You've won the mental battle early in the game, and that may carry over for you. And that's where you're counting on a receiver's size being an advantage. They were hoping he could go up the top of a smaller DB and haul that one in. A good thought, but that time it didn't work out.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. On play action, Love to throw. And his throw here's incomplete.
Not a great start dropping his first target, but let's face it, it won't be his last chance because he'll get opportunities to make up for that one throughout this game.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. To the air again, Love. And that will be incomplete as well. Fine work by the Baltimore defense to help bring up 4th down.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
The kick by McManus is good, and the Packers are off to a 3-0 lead. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Baltimore set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away. But they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
They'll start by running the option to the right. And he'll be taken down right around the 27. Give him 4 yards there on the first down keeper.
Typically on the read option play, when we talk about responsibilities, we're talking about what the quarterback has to go through. How about the inside linebacker, though? His job on this play, shadow the quarterback and hold him to a short gain. Did it to perfection.
Now it's Jackson. A quick throw there is incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Here's Jackson. They set up the screen for Henry. That he won't quite make it. He needed 6. He got about 5. 4th down.
Boy, that was certainly well-read defensively. And the key to any screenplay is space to work. And there was none to be found there. And they tackle it for just a short gain.
4th down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt. 47-yard punt, a return of 4. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. And Packers offense here coming back out for their second drive. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Love, they go play action now. They swing that out wide to Jacobs. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and it's 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Love looking to throw it. Now this aired out deep for Reed. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
And that's football 101, isn't it? Tip your cap to the rookie. He knocked that one away, but he better not relax. They're going to test him all game long.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Here's Love. That is caught, and he's going to have the Packers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route, and they just executed that one pretty well.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Jacobs going to try the middle. Taken down at the 42.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
2nd down at 6 now from the 42. To pass, here's Jordan Love. He has it complete to Christian Watson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a 1st down.
Partner, he sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go. Well, let's see who's faster.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3. They'll come up 2nd and 7. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. Breaks a tackle. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy's setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
To throw now. Here's Love. Flush to, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Adafe Owe showing off the pass rush skills.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Love. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he will be out of bounds here on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Back for the second quarter in Green Bay. It's the Packers in possession of the football, as they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up. Love now. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Down here in the red zone, you know your tight end's going to be a favorite target. Couldn't hang on.
And sometimes they just have to get out of their own head because they understand how tight windows are there and how many bodies are there. And sometimes they just overthink it and don't catch the ball.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Here's Jacobs from the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Well, this drive, they're a perfect 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions, but they need a full 10 yards here. Looking to throw. Love. And this is going to be incomplete. So 2 3rd down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a 3rd, and now they deal with 4th down. Another good drive, Charles, but it looks like another that might end in a field goal try.
They've made some nice plays. They've given themselves opportunities, but as you noted, another field goal attempt coming up. And that's not how they want to end drives. They've got to figure out what's the final touch that they need to push it across the goal line.
Yeah, still yet to find the end zone. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goal is probably not what they were hoping for.
Man, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. They are still in search of their first points of the ball game, but only down 6-0 as they begin with a 1st down. Jackson now. Throw caught by Flowers. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. Looking for Bateman. He's got him complete. Jackson to Bateman there. 1st down, Ravens.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. First and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. Inside handoff, Henry. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Now it's Jackson. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down.
Well, no one likes to see that drop, but I'll guarantee it's not going to stop his quarterback from going back to him anytime he has open space.
They had the incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. Throwing is Jackson. And that one goes incomplete on the drop. That's one he definitely normally catches. 4th down.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try and figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And this will be taken at the 13. Good coverage there. An even 50-yard punt leads to a return of 5. And they will take over 1st and 10. Another drive coming up for this Packers offense. And their 2 drives thus far both led to points, albeit both field goals, so the lead just 6-0, but the ability to move the ball is evident.
Well, that's, heartening, as they say, but it's not what they're about. What they're about is putting the ball in the end zone and putting 6s on the board. So if you're the offensive coordinator, you like what you're doing, but you don't love it. You've got to find a way to ring that bell. Then you can have a little self-satisfied grin. Right now, a little more determination is needed. I think as he began this throw, you saw that the area was congested, but he has a lot of confidence in his arm, and he fits that one in there nicely. They pick up the catch, not much yardage afterwards.
From the 22, Love completes it again to Dobbs. It'll be a gain of 5, and now that sets up 3rd and 2. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
On 4th down, the Packers call on Daniel Whelan to punt. Back deep is Steven Sims. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 22. They'll try and start this drive in the air. A short one there, caught by Likely. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Able to get the 1 yard he needed, but nothing more.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
They keep it with Henry on first down. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Here's Jackson to throw. That one into the hands of Flowers. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll try the right side with Henry. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. 3rd and 7 now.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. And this offense on 3rd down today, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Jackson from the shotgun. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 25-yard line. Now a pause, and there's an injured Raven in need of some assistance. Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Now Jackson. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
So it looks like they stopped some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But this defense gets 2 more stops. They can keep them out of that area.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Play action. It's Jackson. And this complete to Henry over the middle. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. The Raven passing game getting in sync. Another first down.
How about a nod to the sequence of plays they're putting together here? This has been death by 1,000 paper cuts on this drive. But this is one of their best plays yet. And they're able to move it down into the red zone.
In motion, Aguilar. They'll get it forward to him on the touch pass. And he's just going to run right into that big old defensive end. And that play going nowhere. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4. This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays. You know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
And he's got it. And in for the Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson hooking up with Mark Andrews. And the Ravens have tied the ball game with a chance to take the lead.
For good reason, quarterbacks want to get the ball to the perimeter to their wide receivers for big plays. But in this situation, it felt like, based on coverage, he knew that he wanted his tight end to have the football, and for good reason.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. He's got it, and they take the lead at 7-6. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told.
And it's Mark Andrews who finishes things off with a touchdown reception.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
And it's a pretty good return here as they'll get this up to the 29. The Green Bay offense ready to take over.
Now they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if the head coach has talked with his offensive coordinator and said, look, let's go ahead and press this a little bit. I'm giving you 4 downs on just about every occasion to try and get this offense kick-started and have it culminate in touchdowns. You know, maybe something to press it a little bit. This might be the case.
Throwing. Love. He finds his man. Complete. It's Reed. So the completion good for 7 there, and it'll be second down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's 2nd and 3.
Working out of the gun. Love. And Watson has it right side. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Packer first down.
And that play came together really well for them as he found open space, makes the catch, and gets down to the 1-yard line. You know he's kicking himself right now. He thought he had a chance to get a touchdown and put that in his ledger. Instead, his team gets a chance to cash in over these next few plays.
And he's brought down. 12 more yards for him there. It's a first down.
Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that, bro?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
They will throw again here with Jordan Love. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. Love.
He's going to launch this deep for Watson.
And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. An explosive 38-yard pickup. Pretty good timing. He waited just enough for that post play to develop and laid it right in there.
And you know what a lot of teams do when they decide to throw a post route? Because it's a little bit longer developing play, they max protect. Bring everyone in, keep the tight end in, an extra back to make sure the quarterback has time to deliver the football.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
Now Love.
And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. On play action. Love to throw. And this is caught on the sideline. But no, they'll say out of bounds. He caught it but was not in bounds. Incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they had incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. The kick by McManus is good. And they jump back in front here. It's 9-7. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away.
And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Raven offense going to take over late in this first half. A slim deficit here in a one-possession game. Not much time left, obviously. We'll see if they can march this down the field, at least get 3 and take some momentum into the locker room.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football.
And this ball recovered by the offense, but remember, they cannot advance it here in the final 2 minutes of the half. So this will be blown dead, and it'll come back to the spot of the fumble. The fumble on first down now. Here's second down.
Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. He finds Aguilar over the middle. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. So we're at halftime here at Lambeau with the Packers taking the lead to the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, but we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side could play mistake-free football the rest of the way.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the third quarter. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And they're going to have good starting field position. He's out of bounds, but not before he's across the 35.
And the Packer offense ready to go to begin this third quarter.
Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. On the ground, Jacobs will get the third quarter started. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized.
2nd and 6.
Out of the shotgun, it's Love.
They swing that out wide to Jacobs.
And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 13 yards, 1st down Packers.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give him a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
To pass, here's Jordan Love. This complete to the tight end, Tucker Kraft. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Just need a yard here, 2nd and 1. Here's a handoff to Jacobs running left. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 17 yards on the play there as the Packers have the first down as well.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
A missed opportunity for an interception would have killed off the drive. They had a chance there to finish things off. Didn't get it done. I guess that's why a lot of those guys do not play offense.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Love looking to throw it. And, he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete.
That play call wasn't there for them against that coverage. So they're going to spin the dial now in their playbook and come up with one more shot at the marker to try and keep this series going.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. To throw now. Here's Love. And that one to the right side and incomplete. Fine work by the Baltimore defense to help bring up 4th down.
Smart move to throw that one away. You're in field goal range, so you definitely don't want to be loose with the ball. And that's great work by this defense to force a 4th down.
Now McManus will line up for the field goal. From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt. The kick by McManus is good. And that will push the lead up to 12-7. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the 3rd quarter. After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the 2nd half. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the 2nd half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. He'll start with a give to Henry. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a 1st down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big 2nd half.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run it again with Henry. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Here's Jackson.
He finds his man, complete. That's Flowers. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds.
A hole to dig out of here, 2nd and 17.
Jackson now.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. Well, a nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That ball's caught. Aguilar, right side. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that'll bring up 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
The Ravens send their punter out now as he's on to kick it away. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 18-yard line.
The Packers offense set to go.
And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense.
Yeah,
run what you do best.
Exactly.
Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. And he'll take this one up to about the 23.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Here comes 3rd down and 7.
Love from the gun. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
On now is the Packers punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
In motion right is Aguilar. Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Snap will come from the 31 on 2nd and 7.
Now it's Jackson.
Open man, that's Henry.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven 1st down.
But they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another 1st down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Henry out of the pistol. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Kenny Clark, the big D tackle there to make the stop.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. The tight end in motion right. Throwing is Jackson.
A short one there, caught by Likely.
And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Here's Jackson to throw. They set up the screen for Henry. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. The Raven passing game getting in sync, another 1st down.
Well, they've certainly had their share of troubles running the football in this one, but this play is almost an extension of the running game right here. They set up the screen, let him work out in space on the perimeter, and he turns it into a big pickup.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. Jackson. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Lucas Van Ness getting 3 there to bring him down. We've seen him escape similar situations earlier in the game and get away from pretty good yardage. At that time, they get him down.
Yeah, they've had enough evidence that he can get away and run for good yardage, haven't they? That time it felt like, okay, enough of this. Let's play it the right way and get him on the ground before he does any damage.
Now they run the option on 2nd down.
And this Green Bay defense making that play look a lot like the previous one. Both tackles behind the line of scrimmage. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up.
Well, he's had success running the football in this one, and that's undeniable. But that time, the defense was on to it.
And, partner, I think the more you see a play like this, the more they're able to diagnose it quicker and easier for them to defend it. I think you have to dress it up a little bit and show maybe some different formations and looks.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And this is going to result in another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 21. That gain on 3rd down, good for 28.
I love the drive they're working on here because they know they can take the lead with a touchdown. And so far on this drive, so good. They've moved the ball down the field with very little resistance defensively, but they better be prepared for some adjustments to come their way now.
They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion left. Now Jackson.
Complete to Likely.
It'll go as a gain of 4, and it's 2nd down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Now a 2nd and 6.
Play action. Now Jackson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Oh, my. You know that that's one that he'll want to have back. I mean, they did everything right. Got the linebackers commit on the play action. He just flat out missed.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Jackson will throw again.
Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
So 2 third-down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a 3rd, and now they deal with 4th down.
Back-to-back incompletions, and what was once a nice drive stalled out here. I'm going to give credit to the secondary, partner. Never gave up as they gave up a few yards, and they came through on that play to deny that pass and force the 4th down.
Tucker's kick is good, and that will cut the lead down to just 2.
So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Packers ready to take over offensively. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the third quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the fourth quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
2nd down, Jacobs once more.
Bust through the tackle. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does. It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. A gain of 3, 2nd down. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Lambeau. It's been a good one so far. Just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. Love now. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down.
But plain and simple, that's the 2nd time today that he's dropped a pass.
And that one, I think, maybe even a little easier than the earlier one that he dropped. Surprising.
Was this game announced as a night game prior to, and maybe his rhythm is just off? He's got thrown off. He's got to wake up, enjoy the sunshine, and go play.
And that will be incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them, because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback.
The Ravens offense back out there.
And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out now joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
And maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside, probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
Now it's Jackson. He'll get this to Flowers, left side. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. In motion, Aguilar. And they'll fake the jet sweep and run up the middle with Henry. And he's going to have a Ravens first down as he's got this up to about the 34-yard line.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
10th carry now for Derrick Henry. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And he ran right through one tackle as he fights forward for a gain of 7.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's 2nd and 3.
To throw is Jackson.
Throw caught by Flowers.
They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
They'll look to throw now on first down.
Able to locate Andrews here on the out route.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
From the gun, Jackson.
And he'll go right back to Andrews.
So just 3 yards on the completion there, and it'll be 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
From the gun, it's Jackson.
The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
At this point in the second half, one mistake on a forced throw could doom your chances of a comeback. So that's the right call there to just throw that one away.
And the question now, can they get closer on 3rd down? A field goal from here, you're looking at right about a 52-yarder. Jackson from the shotgun.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown.
Rashad Bateman.
35 yards.
And the Ravens have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter.
Man, he just ran a terrific route. Extremely hard to defend when it's run that precisely and the ball's delivered that accurately.
Tucker now for the extra point. And the lead is up to 5. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive.
And it's Rashad Bateman who finished it all off with a touchdown.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here.
We certainly have a good one on our hands. They're trailing after that last touchdown, but now a chance for this offense to try to snag that lead right back here in the fourth quarter. Loving the Packers now with a 1st and 10.
Just shy of the 30.
He'll give it to Jacobs to start the drive.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Play fake. Here's Love.
And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Odafe Owe able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
They were looking for a big play in this comeback situation, and they call play action pass, and it backfires. If you're going to run that play this late in the game, you have to have a plan in mind to avoid the sack. Throw it away, scramble, do something, but don't go down in your own backfield.
The Packers on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 17. And that is incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away.
Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line. The Ravens offense and Lamar Jackson set to take over once again. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet.
From the 37, they work on 2nd and 6.
They'll motion the tight end across the formation. Play action. It's Jackson. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Kudos for the defense from me on that one because they were prepared the whole way for him to try to escape and hit them for more yardage running it. I like the way they stayed zeroed in on him and kept him contained when he pulled the ball down. I think he was fortunate to get what he did on that run.
Here's Jackson. He completes it to Henry. That he's brought down short. 2 yards there, needed 4.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
The Ravens send their punter out now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Packers offense now. They get ready to head back onto the field.
Their defense accomplished step one of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a fourth quarter lead. Love going to break the huddle, lead the Packers up here 1st and 10
at their own 20-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
Short throw. He's got Kraft.
And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for him there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They've got to go thank the guys on D.
Working out of the gun. Love. He finds his man, complete. That's Reed. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Packer first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Love looking to throw it.
This is caught. It's Christian Watson.
Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
My goodness, they've come out locked in on this drive. Play calling, execution, they are fully in sync. 3 straight passes, 3 first downs. They're moving the ball downfield almost at will. This defense really struggling to find answers.
All 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. Here's 1st and 10.
They will throw again here with Jordan Love.
He gets that one complete to Wicks.
And they eventually get to him at the 17 after a pickup of 17 into the red zone. First down. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And here he'll get it down to the 7.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Now 2nd down and a few inches. Love.
His throw incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Love looking to throw it. He's got his target. That's complete. And the Packers are going to be set up with a 1st and goal as they get the conversion there on 3rd and inches.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
Now Love.
He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he is going to lose yardage here.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here.
Here now, 2nd and goal. Here's Love.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss.
When you're this close to the goal line, you've got to expect pressure from the defense, so the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of his hands quicker.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Love looking to throw.
That's to Kraft, the tight end.
And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left.
Here it is, 4th and goal.
One last shot now for Love. Steps away to his left. And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play of this ball game.
But Charles, we were treated to an excellent game today, capped off by that second half comeback. This was a joy to watch.
Entertaining for us. Not so much to the team who led at halftime and now is leaving here, knowing that they let a win slip through their fingers. Tough one for them to carry home.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long, everyone, from Lambeau.